Welcome everyone to our discussion on wellness in the home. Wearable technology has become incredibly popular with people enjoying the benefits of understanding their health with real-time data. I've heard you describe, Michael, the home as the biggest wearable. I think that's an interesting way of looking at the home. Can you tell me more about that concept?
Sure. So in the past, at least when I grew up, we'd go to see the doctor once a year, an annual checkup. We get a blood test. Doctor will check here, and say, you're good, and wait for a year. But today, I think people are gaining massive benefits from having things like glucose monitors, keeping their pre-diabetic risk in check, and other health issues. There's sleep quality monitors. Sleep is essential for our health, so what's the quality of that sleep? So that's our personal home. Like we each have our personal home, right? Let's kind of scan out the world. The world is our collective home. We have all the data, the temperatures, how climate change is affecting everything, what we need to do to reverse it. But the problem is we talked about it earlier, we spend the majority of our time in our homes, yet we don't have the data to link both sides. So I do believe in the future, especially with AI kind of coming to the forefront, that the home will be our biggest wearable because it will interact with our personal health devices and tell us and optimize spaces to contribute to our net positive from a health perspective.
Interesting.
I mean, I can see certainly, and you see people like Apple who are really getting into the home side of things, as well as the Apple Watch and then the phone and all that kind of stuff. The idea that you have more real-time notification of things like carbon dioxide levels, and then you can take action or more automated action sort of happens, right? But I think what we found with a lot of these ideas when it comes to technology integration, it's easy to do it on a small home or a room, for instance. It's very easy to say, okay, in my home office, I have a fan, I've got a window, I've got the ability to measure air quality, I can do these things. But we also work a lot, all of us collectively, in large scale residential, type of construction, 6,000, 8,000, even 20,000 square foot homes. And those operate almost on a commercial level, right? I tell people all the time, you could use Philips Hue as your lighting control system, but if you're in an 8,000 square foot home, you're gonna spend a lot of time activating a whole lot of lights and programming them. And then if something goes wrong and you have to redo it again, that's okay if it's just one in your living room. But I think when you think about wellness, because there's so many elements of this system that need to be thought through, there will be these sort of solutions that come out, point source solutions, even things that'll be integrated like what Apple or companies like Google will do. But I think as an industry, I think we all have to be a little bit more kind of forward and educating, and then also understanding that, having a home that is healthy is about the design, and it's about a certain intentionality of the technology solutions. We've heard already, technology is not going to be the solution to everything. Maybe plants is the solution to everything. We hear growing, the indoor and the outdoor coming into the indoor. But I do think that it's a really key part of it, but only when it's intentionally done and you think about that entire system.
It's interesting, technology in the home. I agree with you. It's not the answer, but it certainly is. It's the barometer, right? It is showing us what's going on. It's really fascinating to hear what you're an integrator, you as an architect are thinking about, right? Because that's where it all starts. Is that people that are working inside these homes and building our homes, are forward thinking so that we can solve some of the problems.
Yeah, the level of opportunity here is unbelievable. And if you just think about it a little bit, there's so many opportunities for improvement. The two things that we monitor in our home, whether it's on fire or whether there's a poisonous gas in our home, and that's it. That's crazy. So we should monitor more, but you can go way further than that. If you start to sort of imagine this I spoke about circadian emulation earlier, in the morning, right? Do the windows change in the morning, where you are in the morning, to let potentially more UV light into your space, right? So you can absorb that UV light either through your eyes or through your body in another way, right? Maybe windows should do that instead of just blocking all of it to protect our furniture, which is probably killing us and off-gassing anyway. Right. But like maybe they should do that. Maybe that's what we should focus on, right? And then as like throughout the day, right? I want to wake up because it starts to get warmer throughout the day, in the morning, right? Because the sun rose, right? I want to be connected to that environment. And then throughout the day, I want to see more blue light. I want to have my body sort of biologically connect to what it has through our entire human evolution. And then as it's time to go to bed, our lights will lower in color temperature, right? The temperature of the space will also change because of the sun will go down, right? And then like humidity will change, right? Every aspect of your home should change to work for us and what we've evolved to understand. And I think that's really important. We're not even thinking about that. And then other layers of this, like if you keep going down the road, like if we sleep, right? Our heart rate, like I don't know about you guys, but when I get up, I have to get up and go to the bathroom in the night. When I get up, my heart starts to race, right? And then if it's super dark, like we need it to be in our sleeping environment, now I need to go to the bathroom and I'm like, my heart's racing even more because I just stepped on one of my little kids' toys, and I'm afraid that's going to happen again, right? So like, how do I create a space where I can wake, go to the bathroom, and come back? Like, what is the light doing, right? That doesn't affect my heart rate. Even if I affect my heart rate by a few beats per minute, it affects the rest of my night's sleep. I don't want to do that. So like, you can go really deep on this, and some of it will be proven, some of it will. But we endeavor to like find out and challenge people to go further with it, so.
Mike, I know you're heavily involved in lighting, and and that is actually what's happening now, isn't it? Is that artificial light is mimicking real light.
Right, absolutely.
And also things like what you were saying about having some sort of a very dim light at night and things like that. Do you want to talk any about what's going on in lighting right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly the idea of dynamic light. I mean, we do a lot with Ketra, right? And we even have Ketra here in our showroom that evolves the color temperature changes and the intensity also changes over time to match what's going on. It's, matched the astronomical clock to what latitude that you're at, so it understands how that evolves, right? But I think, it sort of goes against a little bit of something that we do as humans, which is control the environment, right? Those 70 degrees, boop. Right. We want that not to change. We want to set the humidity. We want the lights to be at a certain percentage and stay the same. So there's almost like a little bit of a reprogramming of our own psychology, where it's like the artificial, which we love to create, we love to create environments, these little cocoons of cars that sort of transport us, from one place to another, without any change in anything. I think there is an element of sort of understanding that dynamic is good. Dynamic is what we're programmed. The evolution and the circadian rhythm and all of these things are really who we are. And if we kind of open ourselves up to that, and then it opens a whole different set of solutions, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm not talking about selecting a single color temperature, right? You look at the sun evolving during the day, clouds come over it. I mean, the color temperature, if you measure it, is all over the place, right? And if we talk about sort of natural, you need to have something that'll change with that. But I think a lot of people are very fixated. 2700 Kelvin, that's what I want. It's a warm light. But it's really only something that makes sense at certain times of the day. You really need technologies that have the ability to do much more than that. And then you can select and program from that. But there's a lot to that.
It's very interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously natural light doesn't follow 2700K, right? And so it is, it's wonderful to watch it happen. We're watching a change in an industry that's been around for 100 years, right? Since the incandescent light bulb.
But I want to just remember, like, it's not just about the light. That's the point of what I was trying to say. It's like, it's all the other aspects to it. It's the temperature, the humidity, everything, all of it. And we're very much, you know, the technology is very much focused on the light aspect of it, but that's just part of it.
Mhm.